Welcome to the Kingsview Model Railway video channel. We really hope you like this next video that's coming up. Well, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do some ballasting, and I've spent 3 or 4 hours now placing all the ballast around the track, taking careful note to come along and clean frog areas, make sure there's no ballast in those, and basically made sure that there's no ballast also in where the points are, where the actuating part of the blades are for the points. What I'm going to do here shortly is I'm going to give this all a pre-soak with a mixture of water and a tiny little bit of soap. That will help when I apply the glue shortly. It will help it flow around the ballast as we lay it. Because what can happen is if you don't wet down this ballast first with a wetting agent in the water, your ballast will clump up badly and it'll look unrealistic and it will look quite terrible. So another little tip too, when you're ballasting, it can be very, very difficult to get get every little part of the track not covered. You can see here we've got some ballast on the track, but a couple of bit of a hit with the back of the paintbrush that I used. You can see here, it just very, very simply vibrates the track just enough just to make sure that everything is settled down nicely, so that when you apply the glue, you're not applying glue to the top of the sleepers. So you can see here, you give it all a tap, and you can see here we've got a little bit there too much, so we just give it a little brush and then give it a tap, and then it all comes good. So I'll come back to you shortly and you'll be able to see us in the wetting down process. So with wetting down, I just use a very simple spray bottle with water and a tiny little bit of dish soap. And you can see here, you can just spray that on just so it's light like that. And you can see me spraying there now. It's just putting a little bit of dampness onto the surface so that when I lay the glue, it will just flow very, very nicely. And you've got to make sure you put a little bit, you've got to put a little bit on to make sure that it has penetrated the ballast. So just spraying it here, just a quick light spray. And after we've done this and we've laid the glue, we'll run over with a paper towel, and we'll be able to very, very simply be able to get the glue off the top of the track. Very, very simple way. I've done this plenty of times, this ballasting. You can also see here I've used WD-40 air blaster I've got here. Great product. And I use that just to make sure that the points and the frogs are all absolutely clear. So making sure that we're not going to get any glue in the frog section. So, well, we're going to do some gluing right now. Becoming a bit of a master of this, I'm obviously holding the camera at the same time. But as you can see, just a little bit of a dribble like this is all it takes to glue the ballast down. And you can see how well it's soaking straight in. Just goes straight in and it just goes straight down, and you'll find that when this dries in a couple of hours, see how well that now flows. You'll see it's just flowing. Just a little bit like that. You'll see that this might look chunky now, but you wait till you see the finished result. And of course, next week we're going to spray this track and make it look ultra realistic. So you might think that this is heavy-handed, but you'll see that we glue this. Got a little bit of glue there on that paper. I'll clean that off in a sec. But anyway, here's how we're going to do it. While I'm waiting for the glue to dry on the other section, this is how I use one of those plastic gadgets I bought off the internet for $10 for simple ballasting. Does a really, really good job of layering the ballast exactly as you want it. So excuse the noise in the background. We've got rolling showers here at the moment, and 1 minute I'm about to video, and next minute it comes pouring down. So just sort of slipping this in between showers. So I'm just about to start spreading out this ballast now on stage 2. You can see here, I'm just going to pan around here. I've now done the final gluing now on the old stage 1 yard. It's now waiting to dry. I've made sure I've checked all the frogs to make sure they all work, all the points still work okay. And then it'll just be a matter of going through and giving it a good clean and a very, very thorough vacuum, and then we'll be able to touch up any areas that we've missed. Well, an afternoon of work, and stage 2 yard modifications have now been ballasted, and they'll be now ready for painting next week.